So I'm not going to waste my time introducing myself or tell you things that you don't want to see or hear. Chances are, if you clicked on this video, you need motivation. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it to you, but I'm going to tell it to you the way it is. Life is tough. Things are hard. The work needs to be put in. I may be a 22-year-old myself, but one thing that life has taught me is that things do not come easy. If you want something, you're going to have to put in the work for it. Whichever direction you want to choose in life, you need to have the emotional capacity to deal with things. You have to have the ability to deal with stress, and you have to be very, very resilient and ambitious, because people are going to tell you things are going to put you down. People are not going to believe in your ideas. If anything, people are going to be constantly against you and constantly trying to find ways to demotivate you and to throw you off the track, because you're doing things that they just can't handle seeing because they're not successful themselves. The road to success is not a straight one. There's always going to be this way, and there's going to be that way, and there's going to be people's opinions on you, but you have to have tunnel vision. One thing that got me to where I am today, and even though I'm not at success yet, I'm building myself a path, is tunnel vision. I want to get to the end of this road. Throughout the road, there's going to be a deer running in the middle. There's going to be some person's opinion, which can come in the form of a gorilla coming and trying to stop me. No matter what happens, I stay focused. What is my goal? I need to reach. I don't care what happens. I'm staying on the road, because the minute that I leave the road, I'm going on someone else's path, because someone else's opinion is his life, and it's coming and it's throwing me off what I want to get to. I need to stay focused on this. If you feel like you want to quit and you feel demotivated or just whatever it may be, you can't quit. Quitting is not an option. If God puts an idea in your mind and this idea is meant for you to obviously go after, then you cannot let this idea be. You can't let it just stay in your mind. If you have an idea for something, you need to go for it, because that's God putting what he wants for you to do in your head. And that's going to be a very, very scary journey. And sometimes you're going to feel like, how do I do it? How do I make it happen? I don't have a solution to this right now. But that's the whole purpose of putting faith and trust in God. Now, you can go all over the internet, and people are going to try to sell you things, and people are going to try to, get money out of your pocket and be dishonest with you and lead you to just somewhere else. But on this channel, you're going to get it straight the way it is. I'm not here to make money off you. I'm not here to sell you anything but the truth. And the reality is that life is tough. Life was designed and it was built to be tough. Through life being tough, there are ways and there are maneuvers and ways of dealing with things and ways of easing pain and looking for a temporary solution to fix my problem now so I don't have to deal with it later. This is all nonsense. If you can do something, do it now. If you have an idea in your head, get after it, because the longer that you don't fulfill and go after your dreams, you are killing yourself. You will not want to live if you're not going after what truly makes you feel alive. So the longer that you stay without doing it is the longer that you're going to basically just be dead. Because if you're not fulfilling your purpose, what are you doing? Now, if you are going after it and it's hard, then welcome to the club. It's going to be hard. But the whole idea is not to give up the second things get hard. The idea is to be resilient and to be ambitious and to know what you want. And like I said, to develop tunnel vision. That's how you're going to get to your goals. Because the people that succeed and that end up in that big fancy room one day at the convention or whatever you want to call it, those people all have one thing in common. They didn't give up, or they inherited daddy's money. But one idea that I stick with me is that as big or as small as that room may be, there's always room for one more to squeeze in. And I'm going to be that one more that gets into that room. Because I don't care about the qualifications or what it takes to happen. I know one thing. Everybody on the planet, I could care less. No one's helping me. You know who's helping me? God is helping me. Because with my intentions and with my goals and with what I want to do, that's all in my head. All I need is God to lead the way. Because I believe that anything is possible for myself. I can look back in this video in 50 years from now and I could be the president of the United States. I could be a rabbi. I could be a college professor that's traveling around the world and millions of dollars like Jordan Peterson. I could be a social worker. I could be someone in the I don't know where life is going to take me. But one thing that I do is I always see my options and I weigh them out, and I make the right decision based on what feels right. I trust my gut. And coupled with extreme confidence and belief in myself, I just rule my life this way. And one thing that I am is super productive and diligent, and nothing can really break me down. I built this muscle of I just don't care muscle. Nothing is going to stop me from reaching my goals, because people that came into my life and said that they would stay are no longer here. And every single time you meet someone new and you trust them and you go through that whole cycle again, there's one thing that keeps you. The one person that always stays in your life is you. That's why I always say the main character in your story is you. Because people can make promises and people can be there to fulfill some type of emotional need, or you can be dependent on them for a little while, but they're not going to be there when you're struggling, and they're not going to be there when you need them most. The one person that's always going to be there for yourself is you. That's why you can never give up on yourself. You can have days where you're not feeling it, and you can have times where you just need a break and you need to go de-stress 100%. You're a human being. I'm not telling you to not do that. What I am telling you is to remember that you don't need anybody else besides yourself. You don't need anybody else besides yourself. You are what you need to get to the end goal. If you genuinely feel like you want to quit at this moment in time, I'm telling you to make the decision to not quit. Because I believe greatness is not the end goal. Greatness is when you are wherever you are in the world and you have a decision to give up and you choose to keep going. Resilience. A decision that I'm not giving up on myself right now. Because while it may seem like it's just one little, decision to quit, it's not. One decision leads to another, and before you know it, you lost your whole purpose in life, and you ended up in some place that you would have never imagined yourself ending up in, because you just quit that one time. So quitting is not an option. The only option is to keep going, and that's if you want to be part of the 1% club, and that's if you want to fit into that very tight room that I was talking about earlier.